Good evening. For years, clampers have been charging extortionate amounts of money to stop people parking where they shouldn't. But now the government wants to ban clamping.
Yes, instead landowners will be able to take photographs of cars parked on their property and then send the pictures to a ticketing company who will issue the owner a fee of up to £150.
The clamp could soon be a thing of the past. But the move is leaving the owners of private land with how to control those who park without permission. We can reveal a dramatic increase in the alternative. Fines of anything up to £150. But those who suffer the problem, like the owner of this shop, say the parking fine schemes do work and are better than clamping.
This is more kind of acceptable. A fine in the post, it's like, oh, won't do that again then, but at least you haven't lost your car, you haven't had a ridiculous fine.
Some companies offer patrols who issue tickets for you. This company video shows how the new online schemes work. First, you register and put up warning signs. You take pictures of cars parked without permission and download them on the internet. Parking fines are sent out and followed up from offices like this one. And as we discovered, the companies say they ensure warning signs are put up and only levy fines of £85, reduced to £60 for prompt payment. They say the industry is regulated by its own association.
If someone's parked in your space, A, you have a right to protect it, and B, I do think you have a right to get a nominal amount of compensation from that driver for perhaps any inconvenience that you've been caused.
So the reality is, it's a lot better for a motorist to go back to his car and find that he's got a ticket rather than a wheel clamp.
Well, joining me here, Costas Constantino from a private clamping company and Caroline Pidgeon, leader of the Liberal Democrats on the London Assembly. Welcome to you both. Costas Constantino, if I can turn to you first, we heard there from a self-proclaimed people's champion, if you like. But he's reflecting the view of a lot of motorists, don't you think? He
is, actually. I mean, when the government brought in legislation in 2005, one of the things that they actually missed out was how much should a clamp release fee be, how much should a tow-away fee. Now, unfortunately, there is a code of conduct at the moment, but a code of practice operated by the BPA. But it's voluntary, so people aren't joining up. What they'd prefer to do is go out there, clamp people, charge an absolute fortune, and we are in the position where we are today.
So the ban's a good thing?
The ban is a good thing. A lot of our customers will switch to the Flashpark service. A lot of companies now are switching to self-issue parking tickets. So,
Caroline Pidgeon, I assume from your point of view, you think this is a good thing?
This is really good news for all those Londoners who've fallen victim to unscrupulous clampers on private land for many, many years. And it has worked in Scotland since 1992. So in London and across the rest of the country, this should work very straightforwardly. It's absolutely wrong that, as your case study showed, people can face hundreds and hundreds of pounds just to get their car back where they may have parked just by mistake on private land.
Now, what about kind of like people who, let's say, can't get into a hospital pay and display car park because people, parking there illegally, or people who can't get into parking on their, their blocks of flats, for example, for the same reason?
We've always maintained that in cases like that, perhaps you could reserve clamping for the just absolute repeat offenders. And we saw in Knightsbridge where you had a situation where vehicles were unregistered, parked on the public highway, that had to be clamped because they don't have access to the DVLA database. But on private land now, if we just stick to private land, there are going to be some problems. But there's a lot of traffic control equipment out there now, which has got some good technology on it, which can take the place of wheel clamping.
This legislation, though, will actually bring with it the powers for the police and councils to tow away vehicles if they are parked dangerously on private land. So I think, it will resolve that. And actually, if you've got private land and you don't want people parking on it, you need to make it secure. That's what they've done in Scotland. Let's see that brought out across the rest of the country.
I think a very good point is what happened in Scotland when they banned clamping. The infrastructure didn't collapse. People just found alternative solutions. There are many alternatives.
Well, I was just going to, sorry to interrupt you there, I was just going to say, but do you think in London, for example, parking fines are really going to do enough to deter people from parking where they shouldn't? It
depends. I mean, listen, we had one customer who's got a pay and display car park, for example. There's a lot of pay and display car parks that are private land, and you have to enforce parking regulations in order for people to buy the pay and display ticket. So we're going to have to wait and see what the ultimate outcome is, because people do have right to access.
Yeah, but it has been an issue that people have been ripped off. Thousands of pounds people are being charged to park on private land. Actually bringing this in, making these people have clear signage will make sure that Londoners aren't going to have to pay these huge amounts of money when really all they're doing is parking their car perhaps to get to the local hospital.
OK, to you both, many thanks indeed for your
much.
views this evening. Thank you.